As they continued trying to find their way out, they heard a loud voice and it was following them. They started running away and as fast as they could, trying to hold up and trying to escape. As heartbeats shooted up, they kept running hard till they could find a hiding place and they hid behind a huge rock. Dan slowly started listening. Her voice was like balm over a wound. She added she was from a far-off land and she was lost. She didn't reveal anything about herself or her family or where she exactly came from, but that was enough for Dan. He low-key listened to what she was saying, but he was just letting her voice touch his ears. She sang melodies in the middle of nowhere. It was like she was singing with the birds and the sky. Her voice was like dew over dry grass, and it was soothing to listen. Maybe along that way, Dan started to feel what peace would sound like. As they hid and traveled little distances, the only way to escape was to get out of the forest and find a safe place. They kept finding their way out, and so they started talking. It was long back that Dan had conversed with anyone. As they started talking, Dan started opening up. They never realized it had been evening and they were running out of a dangerous forest. It was like an unending walk, and that must have been the longest, that the voices in his head were silent. Or let's just say that he wasn't hearing any of them. That day, Dan talked about what happened with his family, how they disappeared and never returned, how the voices kept reminding him of how lost and lonely and abandoned he was, and how he always kept thinking about them. He told her everything.
But as she spoke, he kept changing. He told her things that he had never told anyone since that one blue day. And as he spoke and spoke, the noises kept quiet and his eyes started to talk. His brunette hair shining in the sunlight and his face had a different glow. Little did he know and little did he hear. At last, as they kept walking, they found a safe place out of the jungle and decided to spend the rest of the night there. As they lay under the wide open sky, Dan realized things had been so different since the last few hours. He looked into her eyes and felt peace. In that moment, he lived his lost years, and the voices of insecurity, fear, and loneliness had left him. He knew that she had magic in her presence, or should I say, voice. Her voice was like music, and her words were rhythm. He could go on and on listening to her, and he could tell her anything without hiding. Her voice had won the fight against the voices in his head. It was like she had come just to help him win over his thoughts and insecurities and fear. He knew that life would be different with the coming sunrise, and so he closed his eyes to today's night. The bright shining sun of the next day shone directly on Dan's face. As he woke up, he saw the place next to him was empty. She wasn't there anymore. Dan always knew deep down she was a mystery. It was like she never existed. But he had a smile on his face. The voices were gone, and this time, forever. Daniel Lodge, the gloomy introvert, was restored back to who he really was. One bad incident had brought so many dark and evil voices, and one unexpected incident took away all of them. Dan would always remember Haley as the angel in his life and smile because he knew that she had come only for him.